yeah, just focusing on the next one is the main thing you have to do. Just focus on the main like I can't. Sometimes the words just go out of my head, dude. Do it again. Do it again. Okay.
With the hero pool changes, I think the biggest thing what we were like just kind of noticed is how we're gonna have to like change up just tempo wise. We weren't like able to play our normal like Echo Ash stuff, and we also weren't gonna be able to play like our high tempo Lucio stuff. So I guess it was just really like a change of pace for us. It was kind of refreshing actually in a sense. I didn't mind it too much. Obviously enjoy the heroes that are banned, but I don't feel like we were too worried about it. I think we knew that if we kind of just like dialed in, we'd be fine. Just kind of focus on playing our playstyle.
I feel like my role this stage, like obviously I got to play a lot more. With like Ashe being banned, like obviously I was kind of mad about that. 'Cause one of my main heroes gets banned, you know, it's how it is. But with like Lucio being banned and stuff, it gives kind of more space for hit scan to be run. You have a lot more time to do things. Like it isn't just like playing versus Dallas, for example. It's like when they're running the Lucio, you try and play hit scan versus that, you just insta die. Their tempo is way too high to do anything on hit scan. It's just mostly dive, you know. But yeah, with hit scan coming back into it, I feel like yeah, my role definitely stepped up in the team.
Yeah, going to this stage, I think like a lot of people were doubting us. I think we knew it was gonna be our hardest stage, but we've kind of been like on an upward trend. Since after stage 1, I think we have like a record of like 15-2 or something at this facility. So we've never been 3-0'd here. So I think we knew we could easily win every single one of the games. We also knew they weren't going to be easy wins, but I don't think we were really doubting ourselves too much. We kind of knew like at the end of the day that like I remember even multiple people saying that, you know, we could actually 4 the stage pretty easily if we just kind of like do our thing.
You know, Atlanta, I believe, you know, we talked about it on Pod Chat a bunch. We haven't looked at it in a while, but I believe they actually have a pretty decently hard schedule here towards the end of the season. So it's 7-5, and then not a great meta for them potentially. You need to win, you know, at least like, you know, go 2-2 during this tournament. Really feel good about that playoff push at the end of the season.
Kev's trying to go for the pulse bomb. Great response from Hawk, right? Normally the aggressive D.Va, he's got such presence of mind to go back and keep his McCree in the fight. Iris eventually does go down. Kevster gets what he came for at least, and Kai isn't far behind. Master drops in yet again, brings the McCree back into the fight. Someone has to deal with this Farah. Kai removed as soon as he was brought back into the fight, and Kevster now gets to run and frolic through the meadow. Master removed after his heroics of bringing Kai back into the fight here, but it's the rain with the numbers here. Kevster has to try and keep it going all on his own. Hulk thrown out, and here it is. Amp Matrix from Iris. Pelican waiting. For whom? Does the bell toll? That's the question. Mirror gets 2 elsewhere in the map there with the barrage. He's got to go aggressive for it again. But space is taken down. Who's being spawn camped? That's the question. Kevster's missing once more here, and this could go against the Gladiators again. This could all be going wrong. 98% and ticking, and the pulse bomb is a good connection. Kai, 3 kills in the fight for him now. And where are the Gladiators? Where it counts the most, they're nowhere to be seen. And again in map 5, the Atlanta Rain break the hearts of the Glads.
Going into map 5, I feel like I have like enough experience with like high pressure situations, especially like because it's online and stuff. I feel like I don't really get nervous or anything like that. Like it's just another map to me. Like maybe it could be different online since I haven't played online in a while, but it's not. It's like I don't really get nervous or anything. Just focus on like what we're playing, what I have to do, and you know we practice it all in scrims. So it's like just replicating that.
Yeah, it feels good winning COTS. We've definitely like had. I think it's more of just a mindset change and how we think about how we need to play the maps, which has helped us. Not into like go in too much detail, but I think it's just like a team, like mental difference that we've kind of just learned how to play the map better and learn when and how and where to take fights, you know? So I think that's just, it's actually refreshing, doing much better in Koth. I actually feel like we've kind of like almost relapsed a little bit in some of the other maps to where we used to be really good on them. But I think just once we even it out, we'll be pretty like set on every mode, I feel like.
To be completely honest, like because Glads and Outlaws were in the same weekend, we played Glads first. We focused on beating Glads more than Outlaws. But I definitely thought it was going to be a harder match. But you know, it's kind of hard beating my Torb. So like, you know.
Test.
Piggy and Dante. Dante bashed immediately.
That's a great pick. Pelican falling. That is a great opening. The Houston Outlaws needed something like that, but they got to contest up this point. 97.7%. Django falling. They need the bodies on it just to try and keep this one going. But Kai, I mean, the guy's just almost unstoppable. The flashbang into all the shots and the transcendence by Crimzo. Houston Outlaws, though, with a fantastic read. Large investments into this fight here. They are slowly edging this one out. They're getting all the picks they need to try and win this one. Still the Atlanta end rolling deep.
No way.
Gator moving over to the wrecking ball. Kai has two. Crimzo and Dante have fallen. Absolutely cast and cursing them. The Houston Outlaws, I was convinced they were going to be taking that one off the pickups they got, but still, no one's dealing with them at these off angles. Transcendence on Crimzo to keep them going, but with Dante gone, it's not looking ideal. The Mortality Field off onto the corner. That's instantly focused down. Great fire here from the Atlanta Reign. My word, their DPS have really just opened things up for them time and time again. That is going to be the series. Completely unexpected affairs, honestly. It's a good Dragon Strike, and that's a good halt as well. It forces out the Immortality Field. Sound-Destruct over the back as well. Kai is just ready and waiting. He's actually just trying to mark BQB to ensure that he can't actually take a flank angle. Instead, they're going to be opted to go for it, but what a response. The Florida Mayhem. They recognize they were being pushed from that. Transcendence gets used, and BQB halted, pulled into the Molten Core, unable to withstand this one, and Gator's still alive. Look at the spam damage is going his way. No one's really being able to take them out. With only 7 seconds left, the Atlanta Reign are the ones who are in control. Gargoyle not going to be able to get back into the mech either. This is going to be a hold right in the streets for them. Going to be bringing us to a map 5, Josh.
Yep, no opportunity for the Mayhem to respond there.
The rest of his team, poor swam in hand, Kai is going to be missing it, but actually just going to be wandering straight into it with the overtime just about fading here. And Nanoboost on top as well. It looks like they are in prime position to just take it away, stealing away to win. The Florida Mayhem coming so close, but not quite enough at the end of the day. Map 5 going to go the way of the Atlanta Reign.
I wouldn't say I was expecting a 5-match series against them, but it was kind of like a Glads in that people were actually saying they were doing really well in scrims, and that they're like a team that kind of just like, they're almost weirdly on like a break, and they have good players. So when OG came back, I feel like they just kind of had like, they didn't have much to play for, so they were playing pretty loosely, and they were like an extremely like unpredictable team because they had pretty much nothing to lose, right? So we were expecting like, I know we were expecting like an easy match, but I don't think quite expect to go to map 5. A couple of the maps I think we just kind of messed up on. Like if we replayed them, I don't think we would lose them. I know I got pounded on Havana or something. So I don't think that would happen again. It was kind of a bit of a fluke, honestly, that it even went to map 5 in my opinion. But they're a really good team, so it wasn't like anything that we were surprised by or anything.
Pelican in the middle of all of that just finds a pulse to take down the Ana. That's the Nano being taken away.
And Pelican tries to deny the res, but Doha just barrages him to try and finish him off. Still, the Atlanta Reign, they have a very good defensive position here with the supercharger set up. Just trying to touch this one. Doha He's in a lot of trouble, but he's been pocketed up. Forces out that immortality field. The rockets are clean. It's good, but not enough. Kai turns around, takes him out of the skies. Beautiful work once again. And at this point, the Dallas Fuel just tiptoeing onto the point, trying to keep the overtime moving, but it will not be enough for them.
Sparkle picking up the hand, so Doha on the Pharah, so things looking a bit weird here.
Oh my goodness! So much damage going his way as well. I mean, the supercharger, the damage boost, the nano boost, he's got it all. And I mean, it is just his playground. Pelican, the Atlanta Reign looking like they're in a prime position to snowball this one all the way to the final point. They've cornered and isolated Hanbin here as well. The charge comes off on the side of the map. Hanbin has been taken out. Gator's not in position for the rest of this team fight. It's a moment if the Dallas Fuel want to jump on it.
Here comes Atlanta Reign. Kai making all the space for them. Fearless has just been bullied since he moved over to Rhine. I don't think it was a good idea to try and match the Atlanta Reign on this
Dragon Strike and across Hawk again! Hawk again! This is ridiculous. The 4th Dragon Strike ate this series, I believe. One ultimate that the Dallas Fuel were counting on to try and split them apart. Not available anymore. Pressure onto Fields into the back. Holding the sleep dart for the perfect moment and did catch it. Still winnable for the Dallas Fuel. Hanbin still alive. Committing that grab as well onto the 2 targets, but does he have the damage? He can't play into it. Has to hold around the corner because of the Amp Matrix round there. But Sparkle, he gets 2. Now it's down to the 1v1. You've got to be kidding me. It can't come down to this. He's been hunted down. Pelican chases him. Not able to touch. That wins the map. Are you kidding me?
That is so perfect for the Atlanta Reign. This.
Being in Dallas like 3-1, it was like obviously it felt really good, you know, because they're one of the best teams in NA, like by far, I think. But I feel like they did kind of take it easy. I know, like they was already like locked in for playoffs and stuff, and they didn't really have a break, so they definitely took it easier that stage, but we still won, you know. The win counted for us at the end of the day, so.
Going 4 on the stage definitely felt good for the team. We really didn't want to have to play plans, considering, you know, we literally went to Hawaii 3 out of the 4 times, which is actually quite impressive, honestly, especially considering how low people rated us. So I don't think it really changed anything. We kind of knew we were capable of it. So it wasn't like some big surprise or big, like, huge win or anything. Like, it was kind of just like, cool, we went 4-0. Like, we kind of knew we could. No reason why we honestly shouldn't. So it wasn't really much else to it, honestly, other than that. Because we still, even when we got the 4-0, we still weren't locked at top 3. So we weren't like super happy until we locked the top 3 in.
So we had a couple of days break, I think, and I noticed that, like, obviously Pelican sits next to me in the practice area. I noticed, like, he wasn't his usual self, you know. You could tell, like, he was sick, but I guess he didn't really know what it was, you know. He thought, like, he maybe just, like, caught something or whatever, but yeah. And then I came in the next day and then found out, like, Pelican was in the hospital and stuff. It was obviously unfortunate. You can never predict something like that's going to happen.
They told us his stuff, you know, like he had issues with his lung again. So we just kind of did what we can do, and we just, we've got 7 players, 1 guy's down, so that means the other 6 are playing. So we just made it work. We were a little bit less flexible of a team, but we made it work, and I'd say we just played to our strengths, and it worked out pretty well.
Be careful, this mine's straight down. Power driver as well, but Sada goes down. Force bomb's good, forces out the immortality field, but no one is dealing with Kai. The Helix rocket straight to the face. Takes out Nice. A lot of the impetus of their damage there. The overtime burning, the Atlanta Reign in control firmly in that round. Still the Toronto Defiant holding on. They have their own supercharger that's laid around the corner, but that Holt has yanked them right into the line of sight. And the Amp Matrix, that's going to be traveling with them right around the corner onto this cart. No one can really withstand it as the Toronto Defiant are just trying to stay out of the line of sight of it. Jumping around this corner. Edison, okay, yeah, he's going to commit the barrage. I was wondering if he was going to be using it here. Channeled up, they can't play around this one. It's going to get 8 up in the end, but Aspire's in the back with this post bomb. It needs to get something big. Right around the corner, Shadow falls, another window brought up. Hisu and Aspire, they have to do something massive to try and compete, but no one's going to be able. Now it's about 90% and counting. The Atlanta Reign might just be able to close them out here.
Toronto Defiant have got to go for a reset, but the Atlanta Reign are doing a fantastic job of bullying them, getting them off the respawn. Is anyone even close? They have a Tracer hiding behind. Nice, just manages to get onto the point. The rally is popped. The Defiant look like they're out of it.
Can anyone touch this one? Anson J. Forster just walk forwards, but he goes down. One at a time, they are toppled, the Atlanta Reign. They say it's not your territory. At the end of the day, they are the ones who want to be going to Hawaii. The overtime's still going. It's desperation for the Toronto Defiant. You can see them drastically making the switches in the spawn door for even a chance to try and touch, but it's not going to be enough. GG's in the chat. A hard-fought victory there from the Toronto Defiant. But ultimately, it's the Atlanta Reign who are the ones who succeed, and they are going to be going to Hawaii.
The win versus Toronto was like, yeah, at the start of the season, like we lost. I don't think it was them playing good. I think we didn't really fit as a team back then. Like obviously it was early into the season. That first stage we really did mess up. But being in them now like shows just how far we've like came as a team, and you know we was locked in for Hawaii for that match. So it did feel good.
Getting into Hawaii this time. Top 3 wasn't locked. Pelican couldn't go. And just think we just beat a worse team. So I just don't think we were excited obviously, but it just didn't like show quite the same as the first 2 times. Since we knew we still had like pretty much a job to do when we got there. Like we needed to get the 1 point. Just had to. Even though nobody had had breaks for like months. I mean, I don't think anyone had more than pretty much 1 day off. And the 1 day off is still work. You're still playing ranked, doing your laundry, doing your chores, whatever you gotta do. Like everyone's just been on a hard grind for literally months straight. So I don't think we were happy, but at the same time we kind of just knew what it meant, and it meant more flying, more traveling in the middle of COVID, and more no break really. So I don't think we were, I'd say, static like the first 2 times.
얍, 다음에 봅시다. Rainfall Pelican.
Traveling into Hawaii, like it is stressful, especially because like we're on like the East Coast, so it's a bit of a long flight. Yeah, like coming into Hawaii, like doing all the COVID stuff, it is stressful. But I'd say it was like easier this time, because you're used to it and stuff. Everything was pretty much the same as we usually do.
Getting to Hawaii this time, we did get there a day earlier. We got there 2 days before the match, which was nice. We knew it was going to be a little bit harder because literally Pelican was literally like just getting out of the hospital, and he's not in Hawaii. So I think we just put a lot of effort into getting that first win. I think we just knew we were a significantly better team than Seoul, and that we'd win the mirror. So we just really focused on winning that match and winning the mirror. So I just think the first 2 days just went into literally just preparing for that team, preparing what to do against them, preparing our map picks and all that. So that's really all we did the first 2 days, was just prepare for that singular team.
Pelican, though, really there's nothing here that answers him at all right now. He can do this all day long.
And I think this is also kind of playing into the map here.
And the Atlanta Reign just had the killer instinct right now. Creative is not going to be left alone to heal his team on that high ground. Kai doubles back to deal with him. Matt, the Reign have numbers here on the point. They're looking very good.
And what was wrong with just continuing to play the Torbjorn? You know, the Mei, you try and use the wall to split players off. It's good to stall the point, but not really providing much of anything else. As Yeah, Pelican, who was able to get behind the Soul Dynasty. This just looks like an eventuality as Prophet will get on Ice Block.
They're missing a main tank though, the Dynasty, and here come the Rain.
A nano onto the Hanzo here as you're going to nano bits. He's being shot through an Amp Matrix there, just kind of eating the damage as he's going to turn around, kill Gator. This is still doable even after these pickoffs.
He's got to get Pelican. He's stuck. He's going to be taken down there. And while Creative Affairs know better, Kai in a safe position there on the Hanzo was able to find 2 quick kills. Prophet trying to save the day is able to find 2 himself. So that is Masa down, but it's just the Diva. Tugu, I think, tried to push his mech out into the open a little bit more, but that's not going to be enough, and the Atlanta Rain will come up with the answer eventually.
You get to touch with the rally. You have this pulse bomb from Prophet, and he gets taken out by Kai.
The headshot on the Tracer is huge, and the Rain make the right adjustments here. Kai gets a little bit too close to gesture, but there's not enough Dynasty players here to stand up, and the Rain through where the card is standing. Transcendence now comes in as Creative, tries to use it to let his team play more aggressively, but Fitz can't pick himself up off the ground. He's down to Pelican. Master has traded out there, but Gator, he finds the strike of his life. And that's going to be it. The Atlanta Rain hold off the Soul Dynasty. They'll win the first match of the Countdown Cup tournament and advance to the upper bracket.
It's a big win there for the Atlanta Rain, obviously.
Yeah, Soul match was pretty big for our confidence, I think. Like, obviously winning that was locked us in for playoffs, and beating them like with the whole Pelican situation really boosted our confidence as well. But like at the end of the day, I feel like we were just a better team regardless of what happened with Pelican. You know, I feel like either way, like it wasn't going to be a close game, regardless of like the first map because we kind of just messed up. But I feel like we were just the better team on that day. You know, and yeah, playoffs locked in.
Yeah, first match it kind of worked out. He had a good routing for ping, so it was lower than it was later on. So I think he was probably playing around 160 or something. So it was playable. But yeah, it was nice having to be able to play. I know he was still like tired and probably sick, but he knew like that one win just meant a lot. So we could actually have a break and not have to play plans, which was like really big for us, considering us Fuel and Shanghai were the only teams that just really hadn't had a break in a long time. So us just securing the break did a lot, and I think he knew that. So he was willing to play that as just whatever if he needed. So it was nice for sure.
Pelican, you need us to pull you out? Okay. Hey,
Very difficult for Pelican and Cody to get back in, and we actually have a substitution here. So obviously Pelican's not with the team in Hawaii, so he's been contesting with some high ping problems. And Edison will now be subbed in here for this map.
Yeah, sounds like Pelican may be dealing with some higher ping today than yesterday. So Edison will come in here for map number 2. We have seen them win with it.
Yeah, we actually figured out his ping was, so we did our warm-up scrim, I believe it was on the West Coast, so it wasn't an issue. It's just routing from Atlanta to LA. So he's actually low ping, it was actually lower ping than us, probably like 70 ping for the warm-up. And then we were trying to get into the match like 15 minutes before the match or something, 10 minutes before the match. He loaded in, he was like 240 ping or something, which is just practically unplayable. So we were just trying to fix it. Couldn't do anything. Blizzard staff tried to help us. At some point there, just pretty much like, he's got to get in the lobby, pretty much, right? Like we were playing, sucks to suck, but he's playing at 240 ping. So we loaded in the first map. He just was trying to do what he could do, but it just wasn't working. Like, cause we're playing like these high tempo, like ball comps and fair comps. And then even the other comp we were playing was generally a pretty high tempo comp to where he wanted to play like the Tracer. He couldn't really play the Tracer in high ping. So it was just, honestly, it was just a shit show first map. Absolute disaster. Just couldn't get much done. You guys literally playing out a fourth of a second behind the lobby. So he did what he can do. Team did what we can do. It was actually a pretty close map too, which is kind of sad. But so I feel like we could have won that given better circumstances, and just distractions. Like 15 minutes leading to the match, it's just straight up distraction, trying to fix the ping. So we did what we can do. He pretty much just said he's just gonna have a hard time playing on that ping, especially being he's, still pretty much sick and tired and stuff. So, yeah, I think it just pulled him out after map 1, and we're like, we'll go forward with Eddie. We'll try to make do. Just play whatever heroes he can play, and we'll go forward with that.
To keep an eye on that one now, is it's going to be up to space to mitigate some of this damage if possible. Skewed able to trade out though. Gator on the Wrecking Ball doesn't really pan out, and the Immortality Field has already been used here by the Atlanta Reign. Edison has moved up to the point, but he sees the Transcendence of the Zenyatta, which is going to stymie his efforts to pressure the backline, and the Pulse Bomb just doesn't connect. Another heartbreaker for Edison, who's really been looking to impact the game on this Tracer and has fallen short in most cases. Kempster though, well, he gets rid of Massa with the Pulse, and that will be that. The Atlanta Reign banished to the lower bracket as the Gladiators look better than ever.
We didn't really know what to do, missing a big piece of like our comps and stuff, the flexibility. So yeah, like you can be mad about it and stuff, but at the end of the day, you have to play the game, you have to play the match, and at least try your best. So we definitely did try our best, and it's just unlucky and it's unfortunate,
Here comes a power driver, Hawk on half HP. He knows he has to use it, but Jinmu, he's already in the backline with a barrage. He's in such a safe angle that he's not going to be contested from there. Not taken down in the middle of it. And the overtime is going down! No one's able to touch it. The Chengdu Hunters are going to take away Blizzard World.
Going into the Hunters game, I feel like it was going to be a harder game than the Glads, because we play Glads a lot, in scrims and stuff. In previous matches, but like Hunters is like, it's just one of those teams, like they're very unpredictable. They're very good flexible players, especially Leave. That guy is like insane at everything, but like, of course, like with Pelican being on high ping and stuff, it was gonna be a really hard game, and Jinmu and Farah is like for me, at least, it's very hard playing against it as Hitscan because, he's sat there spamming you and stuff the entire time. It's really hard to kill him because he's got really good positioning on Farah. But yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough game, and, stuff like that happens.
Yeah, I guess the progression throughout the regular season was just a lot of everyone just getting on the same page. It's just players from every region around the world. And it is kind of a new team. There was some of us, like half the team was new, half the team was here from last year. So I think it was just a lot of just everyone kind of just slowly getting on the same page, understanding each other, understanding what people want to do, how people want to play. I think everyone's kind of just either gotten their point across or agree to other people's, So it's just like, I think we just kind of come together over the course of the season. If it wasn't for like the disaster stage 1, we'd have a really good record right now. But not really much else to it. We kind of just do our thing. Don't think we really overthink it or anything. Kind of just show up and play, honestly.
I feel like we have a pretty high chance going into playoffs. We're very flexible. I feel like we, especially after like a 4-0 stage, we're pretty confident, and Pelican being back, I feel like we can get a really high placement. Just one match at a time, I feel like we have a good chance.
General thoughts just going to the playoffs. We're just gonna do, honestly, that sounds cliche, but just do the best we can, right? Like, if we play well, we'll win, right? So I know we're capable of winning it all. We're just focused on doing our thing, playing our play style. I think we're actually a pretty hard team to like prepare for, especially considering we're just willing to just play anything and swap anything literally the day before. We'll swap everything 10 minutes before the match if we feel like it. So I feel like we're not really stressed about anything. We're just gonna go as far as we can go and try to win it all.